We did a lot of balance, I think, from what I remember last week. And so this extra day in February might throw us a little off balance. So I thought in the interest of balance, we would continue along with that effort. And so let's just start on our backs. We'll start slow and low, as I said. I have this bolster here, and I know some of you guys might not have a bolster. A cushion actually works really well, but if you have blocks, you can take the block under your head on a higher level and a block under the shoulder blades on the lower level, or roll up your blanket. We're looking for heart expanders, so whatever props you decide to use or not use, just lower down to your back. Yeah, and get comfy. And if you have something underneath your shoulder blades, just see if you can let your shoulders just kind of wrap around that item. Let your eyes close. And just tune into what you brought to your mat this morning. What you brought your mat, and what you brought to your mat. The gift of you brought to your mat. Notice any sensation in the body, any tightness. Maybe you're feeling super relaxed, maybe a little jacked up on coffee or Tylenol in my case. And just begin to tune into the external environment, so noticing first the sounds in your space. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice the sensation of the clothes against your skin. And acknowledging anything that may have been on your heart or in your mind prior to this practice, and just set it aside, knowing it will be there when we finish this practice. Give yourself permission to just be present for yourself. And as you begin to become more aware of your breath, maybe a hand comes to heart, a hand comes to belly. And with your lips gently closed, breathe into the nostrils and fill up the belly. Let the rib cage expand. And draw the air on up into the upper lobes of the lungs. Fill up. And then a slow release. Let your exhale be longer than your inhale. And whenever you're ready, begin again, filling up. And gently and slowly letting go, releasing. A little bit of tension with every exhalation. Take another few rounds. And then just pausing for a moment, perhaps releasing your hands to the mat, just acknowledging what may have come up for you in that time of stillness, of focusing on the breath. And as you're ready, place one foot on the floor and roll to one side. Move any props out of the way and come down to your back. And just allow the spine to neutralize. Notice maybe you have a little more expansiveness in the chest. Take a full breath here and notice how that feels. And then hug the knees into the chest. Take any movements that might feel good, rocking or circling them out. And then find stillness. Give yourself a nice big hug. Wrap your arms snugly around your legs and feel that stretch in the lower back. And when you're ready, take your arms out to a T. Palms face up, and gently drop your knees on over to your right. Turn your head to the left. See how that feels. And just pause here for a moment. Take a nice big breath in, and a full exhalation. And then when you're ready, take your left arm, swing it up and over, and circle it over until it finds the right arm, and it just lands there. And then back up and over with the left arm and turn your head back toward the left hand, keeping your legs where they are. We'll take 3 more of these, just working gently with the shoulder on the left side to open it up, warm it up. And moving with the breath. So the inhale opens up that shoulder, opens up the neck. You feel that stretch on the left side body. And the exhale, you turn back over to the right. Let's take one more. And when you're ready, roll back to your back. Find your knees. Draw them into your chest. Take any movements that might feel good. And then give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe this time nose comes to knees. And then lower the head back down. And when you're ready, arms come back out to a T. We'll take our knees over to the left this time. Arm gaze goes over to the right. Good. Take a nice big breath and settle in here. And when you're ready, right arm reaches up and over, makes a big circle, eventually lands somewhere on the left arm. And then swing it on back and take your gaze with it. Moving with your breath. Finding your own breath to movement pattern. Opening up the right shoulder, feeling that stretch on the right side body. Good. Let's take one more. Nice. When you're ready, knees come back to center. Take another hug. Maybe nose comes to knees. And then lower the feet down close to the hips, about hip width. We'll take some dynamic bridge poses. So palms can face down on your mat. See if you can snuggle your shoulders a little more toward the center, giving your heart a nice, shiny, open posture. And when you're ready, use the strength of your legs to gently lift your hips off the floor. And wait for an exhale to lower down, just slowly moving the spine from one vertebrae to another until the entire spine is back on the floor. Again, inhale, lift into your bridge. And exhale, lower. One more time here. Maybe you pause at the top. Maybe you pause at the bottom. Find what feels good in your body. And this time we're going to add the arms reaching up and over, getting really expansive here. And exhaling back down. And take 2 more. Move with your breath. Excellent. When you're ready, reach your legs long. Take them as wide as your mat. Take your ankles for a little circle and go the other direction. And then reach your arms up and over one more time. Take a full body stretch. Point your toes. And then let it all go. Take one moment with your eyes closed to just breathe here. Feel that breath fill you up. And then let your body soften into the mat. Notice where you are here. Notice sensations. Are you a little more centered? Let's keep going. When you're ready, either hug your knees into your chest and rock forward and back, or come with me as I roll over to my favorite side and use the strength of your arms to come to a comfortable seat. And we'll find Sukhasana, checking in with our hips. Yeah, maybe tucking a blanket underneath the hips and moving hip flesh out from underneath you, finding that grounded seat. And then when you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms up, maybe look up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum. Let your chin bow to your chest. Good. Inhale. We'll take it again, reaching up, getting long. And exhale, hands to heart center. Find that length in the back of the neck on this third time. See if you can pause there and really feel that stretch. Release the hands to the front, somewhere in the front, wherever your front foot is, in the front leg. And then shine your heart, draw your shoulders back, gaze up, open up that throat center. And on your exhale, round your shoulders forward, bring your belly into your spine, come into a cat, seated cat pose. And inhale, shine. And exhale, round. Maybe lean back just a little bit if that feels good in your body, if your hips are ready for that. A few more, moving with your breath. So good. And when that feels complete, end up in this cat pose. We'll meet here. Chin to chest, shoulders coming forward, belly drawing to spine. Really get that stretch in the upper back and take a full breath here. Imagine you're breathing into the upper parts of the lungs on the back side of the body. So everything on the back side of the body really expands on that inhale. And then on the exhale, take your shoulders, loop them up and back and down. Good. We're going to take a few more of those shoulder rolls, drawing the shoulders up to the ears and back and down. Good. Noticing, appreciating, accepting any noises we might hear, any little cracks. It's all good. Excellent. And when you're ready, scoot your fingertips out to each side of your body and keep the right fingertips there as you lift the left up and over. Reach over the left ear, finding that stretch in the left side body. Good, nice big breath in. And then take your left hand, see if you can reach it out in front of your right knee to the floor while you're keeping your left hip grounded. See how I did that? I don't know how I did that. Good. Inhale, reach up and over, sweep it over, like make that circle again. Fingertips to the floor, and then the right arm sweeps up over the right ear, leaning to the left, finding that stretch in the left side body. Breathe in. And breathe out. Then take the right fingertips over toward the left knee, keeping that right hip close to the earth. Take a nice big breath. And then take your sweep up and over. We're going to take 2 more of those. Good luck. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, take your fingertips to the floor by that right knee. Good. And then sweep it over and back. Take it to the other side, moving with your breath. Waking up the shoulders, waking up the side body. Moving with grace and ease, slow or with more energy. Your practice. I think we're finished. When we're done, let's come to seated and just place your hands, one hand atop the other. Let your eyes close, lengthen out the spine. See if you can tuck your chin so it's nice and level with the floor. And take a couple of breaths here, just notice. Notice sensation. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. So one of the first couple of Yoga Sutras is Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodhaya. It means to still the fluctuations of the mind. And we're never going to shut off all of our thoughts, but yoga can help us still them so that they're not so darn fluctuating. Okay, so let's come to hands and knees. Place the blanket under your knees if you don't have nice carpet like I do. And come to cat-cow. We'll take some cat-cows just in preparation for the rest of our practice. So when you're ready, inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your head, your gaze, and exhale, round into your Halloween cat. Press the mat away, draw the belly into the spine. So we've already done some seated cat-cows, so maybe you're ready for a little deeper expression of this. So find what feels really good for you. Just get your stretch on. Good. When this feels complete, you might need a few more. Take any extra movements that you feel like you might need, maybe some side to side motion or some figure eights. And then find stillness in your tabletop, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Always the option to come to your, to get off of your wrists by making fists. Or if you feel like your wrists have just had too much, always the option to take a break and turn your hands in different directions just to give your wrists a break. But when you're ready, can Sophie shake it out too? Forgot about Sophie. Tuck your toes on your mat. Get a nice stretch in your feet. And then we're going to take the left foot and extend it back, keeping those toes flexed toward the floor. And then reach the right arm forward. We'll come into a little balance here, low balance. Bird dog. You can keep your gaze on the floor right in front of you. And yeah, maybe lift your left leg a little bit higher. Feel that sensation in the glute, starting to feel a little warmer maybe. Take a nice big breath. And then exhale, lower the right hand, lower the left knee. Sophie, shake it out. Let's take it to the other side. Right leg reaches long, toes flexed. Left arm reaches forward. Belly drawing to spine, keeping that integrity of that core, our strong core, our strong centers. Breathe in. Excellent. Maybe lift a little higher before you lower. left hand and right knee, and Sophie, shake it out. Really good. When you're ready, big toes. I always do that first. Knees come to the outsides of the mat, big toes touch, hips slide back to your version of your child's pose. We'll take a rest here. So forehead can come to a block or a blanket. Palms can open up, maybe open and close a couple of times. And if your shoulders have had enough, maybe your arms come back and reach for your feet. We're going to relax for just a few breaths in child's pose. So see if you can use your breath to soften, to release tension, filling up the entire back body with breath and letting go slowly. So good. When you're ready, we'll slowly crawl on out of our child's pose, come back to our tabletop. Take your hands a little farther than they were in table, and then tuck the toes again. Lift the hips and find your first downward facing dog. And bring yourself into down dog slowly. Check in with your hamstrings. Maybe you walk, bending one knee and then the other. Check in with your wrists and your shoulders. If this doesn't work, check in with your sinuses. If this doesn't work for you, you can always make your way to the front of your mat to mountain pose or forward fold. But if you're feeling okay here, see if you can lift your hips a little higher, send your heels a little closer to the floor, and breathe. And after that complete exhale, on your next inhale, lift up on your toes and take a slow walk to the front of your mat. Find your forward fold. Yeah, good. Whatever your forward fold looks like, see if you can have a little bend in your knees. Maybe your hands come to your elbows. Maybe they just dangle. Whatever your forward fold looks like, shake your head yes and no, and just relax tension in the face, the neck. Embrace this idea of blood flow into the brain, the face. Take one more full breath. One more exhalation. And use the inhalation to slowly rise, coming all the way up to stand, finding mountain pose. Shoulders draw back, head over heart, heart over hips. Lift and spread the toes. Take a nice breath in, fill up, and ground yourself into the earth. Feel your weight. See, rock to the left and feel your weight shift, and then rock a little to the right and feel the weight shift, and then find that center point. Gaze forward and find something that is not moving, not a person. We're moving always. And let that be your stable gazing point. And when you're ready, inhale, reach up. Let your palms touch. And then keeping your legs stable, take your arms, reach your right arm back and your left arm forward. Take your gaze with it. Yeah, a little twist. When you're ready on your inhale, reach up again, maybe look up. And exhale, take your twist to the left. Good. 2 more of those, moving with your breath, just kind of getting used to how that feels. Opening up the shoulders a little bit more from a standing position. So good. Keeping those feet firmly grounded. Really good. When that is complete, reach up, let your palms draw together and right down to the heart, and just pause. And release your hands coming into mountain pose, palms face forward. Take a nice full breath, let the shoulders draw back and down. Good. Relax into mountain, soften the knees. Feel really grounded here. Good. When you're ready, we're going to bring our weight into our left leg again. This time we're going to lift our right foot to our right toes, and we'll stay there for just a moment while we revisit our drishti, our gazing point. Take a nice big breath. And as you exhale, maybe you stay here, maybe you reach for your knee and draw it up into your chest, flexing your foot. Yeah. Maybe this is great and you want to stay here, or maybe you want to reach for your right ankle with your right hand and give your quad a stretch. Maybe the left arm reaches up. Always the option to stay with your right toes lifted. Yeah. When you're ready, release that. Shake it out. Come back into mountain pose. Let's revisit our stability, our groundedness. Rock to the right. Feel that weight shift to the right. And then rock back to the left. And then find that center point. Find your gazing point. I'm finding mine. And then when you're ready, bring your weight into your right foot. Come up to your left toes. Hands can be anywhere. Heart center. They can be on your hips. Whatever feels right for you. And if you want to take it a little further, reach for your knee. Hug it in. Always the option to use a chair or a wall if you're feeling balance challenged today. But try to keep a little bend in the right knee and breathe. And if you want to take it a little further, stretching the hamstring, reach for the ankle, extending the right arm wherever feels good, maybe up, maybe it stays at heart center or on the hip. Keep your cool. One more breath. And then releasing that leg slowly. No ricochets. And Sophie, shake it out. Good. How did that go? Really good for me. I hate that I can't see you. Okay, so your left foot stays forward, your right foot takes a nice big step so that we come wide on our mat. This time we can all take our hands to our hips, draw the shoulders back and down. Come to a halfway lift. Little bend in the knees just to keep the knees from being hyperextended. Take a nice big breath. And then take your left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Reach your right arm up for a twist. Take an exhale whenever you're ready. Inhale again. And exhale, switch sides. Right arm to the left ankle, left arm reaches up. And when you're ready, left hand comes down, fingertips come to the floor. And let yourself bow toward the floor. Maybe the crown of the head comes toward the floor. And then here we are, option to bend one knee and then the other. Good. Getting that stretch in the inner thigh. Excellent. And then finding stillness, one more forward fold if you have it in you. Shake out the head, yes and no. Relax the back of the neck. And then using the strength of your legs, belly drawing into spine, rise back up. We'll come into star pose, reaching the arms up, extending, drawing the fingers out, taking up space. And when you're ready, arms come down. Let those shoulders draw down away from the ears. Turn the left toes to the left, so the front of the mat. Put a little bend in that left knee, and then take the right foot and spin it so it's at an angle. And then look down at your left heel. See if it's intersecting. There's an imaginary line from your left heel to your arch of your right foot. And here we are, warrior two, beautiful warriors. And breathe here and settle in. On your exhale, see if you can settle in, pressing into all four sides of both feet. Letting the toes press into the mat, the heels, the right and left sides. Good. Imagine you're reaching the left side body. Take a full breath. Wait for the exhale. And then slowly come back to warrior two. We'll straighten that left leg. Lean toward the left and come into triangle. Left hand reaches down. Right arm reaches up. Gaze can follow. And breathe. Nice. Again, just being aware of the knees. So we're not hyperextending. Maybe a little bend. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. When you're ready, we're going to bend into the left knee again. Lengthen out the arms. One more foray into warrior two. And then turn towards your left foot. Spin your back foot so it's facing the same direction. Take your hands down to the mat or blocks. And we're going to step the right foot up about 1 foot, one of your feet in length. And then straighten both legs. Come into pyramid pose. So the nose draws toward the knee. And the stretch is in the backs of the legs, as if you hadn't noticed. Take a nice big breath, lift up halfway, step your right foot back, take your hands to the mat, step your left foot back, lower your knees, or shift forward and lower all the way down using the strength of your arms. Eventually finding your mat, making a little pillow with your hands, turning your head to one side. Sophie, shake it out. Yeah, here we are. So good. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. When you're ready, forehead comes to the floor. Fingertips are tented on the floor. So the hands are tented right below your shoulders. Draw those elbows in so you can really feel the strength of your shoulder blades as they draw toward one another. All those muscles in the back and the tops of the toes can stay on the floor as you peel your chest up, coming into a nice cobra. Good. Breathe in. Keep it slow and easy. Unless you want more, you can press yourself up a little bit higher. I'm keeping it slow. When you're ready, lower down, make that pillow, turn your head to the opposite side, and breathe here. Sophie, shake it out. Take a full breath. These back bends can be intense, so give yourself a chance to recover. We're going for balance today. When you're ready, the forehead comes to the floor, the hands are tented, drawing those shoulder blades toward one another. Press yourself up into your cobra, and then we'll make our way through table, through down dog, taking any movements that you like, and making your way to the front of the mat any way you like, finding your forward fold. Good. Let your hands do what they want to do. So dangle or reach for elbows. Shake your head yes and no as you like. Really good. And then when you're ready, slowly root to rise, coming all the way up. Good. Reach up and exhale, hands to heart center. Excellent. We're going to keep our right foot forward. We're going to step our left foot back and turn that left foot so that it's at an angle, right knee bent. We're just coming into our warrior two on this side. No big deal. Look down at your right heel and see if it's intersecting the arch of the left. And just enjoy this warrior two. It's such a powerful pose. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears and really reach out. Send those fingertips in opposite directions. Just take up all the space. Right knee tracking toward right pinky toe, pressing into all sides of feet. Feet are really grounded, keeping us balanced. We're gazing at that drishti. And when you're ready, flip the right palm, lean back, come into your peaceful warrior. Enjoy that stretch. You can even reach up for the right wrist if you want to take it a little deeper. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next exhalation, come back into your warrior two. Pausing here. And then bring that right knee a little bit straighter and lean forward toward the right leg, past the right leg, coming into your triangle. Right arm reaches down, left arm maybe reaches up, or always the option for a half bind if you like. Gazing up toward the sky, finding that twist in the torso, that thoracic spine should feel good. Nice big breath. And then as you're ready, come back in to your warrior two. We've been here before, you know what it feels like. And then back toes turn the same direction as the front toes. Take your hands to frame the front foot, the right foot, and then take your left foot, step it forward just about a foot, your foot, and then come into pyramid pose. So legs are on railroad tracks. They're not lined up. There's a little bit of space. And nose draws toward right knee. Breathe in. Breathe out. See if that right hip is drawing anywhere but back in alignment with the left. And see if you can tuck it back in a little bit. Back, back, back. Take one more breath. And when you're ready, lift up halfway, bend into the right knee, step the left leg far back, with far back. Come into your plank, your table, lower your knees. However you want to get to your mat, come on down slowly, intentionally, and find your belly. Yeah, Sophie, shake it out. Take a big breath. And then we're just going to come into a Sphinx pose. Coming into the yin portion of our program, the more passive yoga, where we stretch a little deeper and breathe a little longer. And this is where the transformation can happen. So give yourself permission to just kind of stay. So for me, closing my eyes helps. The elbows are under the shoulders and the chest is shiny. The shoulders are down away from the ears. And if this is too much on your back, your lower back, kind of lower down a little bit more. You can also use props. If you want to tuck a block underneath you, just to help you prop up, feel free. Blanket also works well. Let's stay here for 5 breaths. Whenever that feels complete, we're going to come back up slowly through our tabletop and pause here in table, drawing our knees under our hips, tucking our toes, and coming into a counter stretch. So come into it slowly. This will be rabbit, taking your head down to the floor and your hands back towards your feet. You might have to tuck your legs in a little bit more, reaching for the edges of your feet or your ankles. And then drawing the belly into the spine, taking that rounded rabbit shape, giving your back a little stretch in the opposite direction. Good. Take a nice big breath and a nice long exhalation. And then we'll come out of this just as slowly as we came in, or more. And then take your hands to the mat, spread your fingers nice and wide, toes tucked, lift your hips. One more downward facing dog. Good. Press your heels to the floor, lift your hips maybe a little higher, maybe your hamstrings are feeling super juicy. We're going to come into a half pigeon. And if this, this does not work for your body, come down to your back and come into a figure 4 with one knee bent and the other ankle crossing over that knee. But if you're ready to come into a pigeon, lift the right leg, maybe open it up into a fire hydrant. And then when you're ready, the right knee draws forward to just behind the right, somewhere behind the right wrist. And the left leg extends as far back as we can get it, so we get the nice stretch. And then use any props that you have to support you in this pigeon. So you might want to lower down, you might want to tuck a blanket under your right hip. That usually feels kind of good. You can put your head on a block. And we'll take 5 breaths here on this side. Just use your breath. This can be challenging, getting deeply into these hips, our hips. Releasing stored up stuff. Use the breath. That's what it's there for. Breathe in deeply. And breathe out slowly. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. I am. True confessions. Soften. That's what the exhales are for. See if on this next deep exhalation you can soften your right hip a little closer to the floor. And take one more round of breath. As you're ready, begin to slowly ascend. If you're ready, if you're comfy and you love it here, stay for a little longer. But if you're ready, come back into your downward facing dog. Take your props to the other side. Lift the left leg up high. Maybe take that fire hydrant, opening up the left hip. And then when you're ready, draw the left knee up toward the left hand, the left wrist. Send that right leg long behind you, as long as you can. Take a moment to lift your heart, and then take your time to set yourself up for your second side. Close your eyes. See if you can focus on the breath, one breath at a time. Softening the brow, softening the entire mouth. So notice if your tongue is on the roof of the mouth. See if you can let it soften down. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Good job. Nice. Take one more full round of breath. And then use your hands to press yourself up. We're not going to come into downward facing dog. We're going to come into one seated twist. So keep that left leg folded in toward the right hip and take the right foot up and over. And then give yourself a hug. Take your right hand behind your right hip and slowly turn your way toward your right shoulder. Being gentle with the neck. Twisting from the left rib cage. Let your inhale lengthen you as you press into the floor behind you. Give yourself a little more length. And then let your exhalation twist you, detox you, rinse you out. One more breath in. And exhale to unwind. We'll just take it unceremoniously to the other side. Right leg bends in, left leg crosses over. Give yourself a nice big hug. Left hand presses into the floor. Turn your gaze over that shoulder. See if you can keep the left hip grounded. Nice big breath to lift and lengthen. And your exhale turns your gaze, finding that edge, whatever it is for you today. On this leap day. Good. As you're ready, slowly unwind. One more thing. Bring your feet together, and we'll come into Baddha Konasana just for a moment. Bringing your feet, the bottoms of the feet together. See if you can lift and lengthen, and then bow. Just surrender here. Let your shoulders round forward. Let your chin bow. Let the back of the neck soften, the upper back soften. We'll take 3 breaths here. Deepest breath of the entire practice. And then exhale, take the outsides of your legs, draw them back toward one another, and then make your way back to your back, having all your props close by so that you are supported in the way you deserve to be, which is very supported. So hug your knees into your chest. 2 choices here. We have a way to get our legs up above our heart in Happy Baby, or send your legs up high and just let the circulation release. Let the shoulders soften down. Take a breath here. And whenever that exhale comes, just slowly lower your legs to the floor, finding your Shavasana, your sweet rest, allowing your entire body to just melt, allowing your eyes to close, letting your nervous system settle down. One of the best things we can do for ourselves. Let go of any striving here and just be. Feel free to stay right where you are. But if you're ready to move into your day, begin to bring small movements to the body, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe keeping your eyes closed, roll to one side. Give yourself a moment to transition gracefully. Taking a moment to pause and notice what you've done for yourself. It's no small thing, friends. And then if you're journeying with me to a seat, make your way with your eyes closed up to your Sukhasana, where we started. Well, not quite where we started. Yeah, notice your hips. Let the heart rest over those hips and the head over the heart. And now draw hands to heart center and pause here for a moment. And just think of one thing from this practice that you are grateful for. Maybe it's balance. Maybe it's strength, courage. The fact that you showed up. When you're ready, sweep your arms up, reach up for all the goodness, and let your arms draw back down to your heart. Maybe you send out a prayer. Thanks for practicing, everybody. Namaste.